Hi everyone, and this is my first video on a YouTube channel, but this is not the first attempt to make it, and I already tried many times to start making YouTube videos, but I really hope this video will be exactly the one I will publish. And the topic on which I want to speak is, it's my own experiment, and I invite all of you to join this experiment for yourself if you are a learner, if you educate yourself, especially if you are self-taught, specialist, and you are looking for, the way how you can effectively learn things and use them later, on your job or for whatever reason you're learning these things. And the method that I want to choose for myself is learning by teaching. I just one day, maybe 2, 3 months ago, you know, I got an idea about that. That the problem is when we are isolated, when we are taught people, we take information more and more and more and more, and one moment, I started feeling myself very exhausted. I was overwhelmed with information. There is a kind of special feeling when you are in that situation. I think many people, who are involved in a lot of studying know that feeling. And from that moment, I started thinking, how can I change that? How can I make the process more fun, more smooth, and like I want to enjoy the process more. And this idea came up. I want to learn things by teaching. Here I found one article on Medium, just was published 6 years ago, just to a little bit assist me during my explanation. Just some part of it I will mention. First of all, I want you if can you pay attention on this pyramid. We can see that teach others gives you 90% retention of the knowledge, comparable to just reading lectures. Okay, here you can see 5 or 10 percentage. And this is exactly what I want to do. I want to learn things. I want to use audiovisual demonstration examples. I want to practice, just gather some hands-on experience. And exactly after this, I want to teach a particular subject by making YouTube video and explaining that. Not waiting a lot of time when I become a master, when I get PhD or whatever, kind of degree that I think will allow me to teach. No, I learn a little subject, I get some experience on that subject, I feel myself confident on that, and immediately after that I teach some, I make a YouTube video and teach about that. And another analogy is like there's a swamp and there is a river. And the difference between swamp and the river is that river is flowing. You know, the water there is constantly changing, and the swamp is the place where nothing is moving. The same with information. The idea is that when you gather something, you immediately share. You gather, you share. You get, you share. And kind of the whole your body, the whole your mind, everything about you, starting to flow. And this already, I'm making this video, and just during this video, I already feel that, I'm not the best on explaining myself, and English is not my native language, as you can see. But it's already make a big difference. I'm trying my best to explain things. I'm trying my best to make sense when I speak. And gradually, I expect, I hope, it will give, I will gather good experience on explaining myself on English. And let's quickly see some other thoughtful sentences from this article. Here we can see that, you know, teaching is the fastest and the best way to learn something, and knowledge wants to be free to rest in other people's mind. Um, mm, Teaching is knowledge is oxygen, and we can see before you teach, when you learn with the intention to teach people afterward, it gives you much more deep understanding of the topic. And why would you teach? Teaching reveals gaps in your knowledge. When you're trying to explain, you find words and orally and verbally explaining things. It makes big difference comparable to situation when you're just sitting alone in isolated room and everything happens just within you, just within your head. And after teaching, after you made a video, you always can receive feedback from others. And that feedback, it might be negative, might be positive, but any feedback will be valuable for your journey. Not only all these things, teaching also very useful for, first of all, helping others to succeed, share your knowledge to other people. You can find new relationships with the people. Also, you can build a reputation of someone who is smart and who is giver. By the way, I didn't, introduce in what subjects I'm interested right now, what subjects I want to learn by teaching. These subjects are math, these subjects are coding, programming. I want to go on that path. And, when you make your own YouTube channel and making videos about that, it's also a good portfolio for you when you try to, find a job later. You can always share that also in your, CV, that you're not just somebody who learned some stuff, some past, some courses. You have maybe very small, but anyway, audience on your channel. People can see that you're not, nothing. You're not nothing. You're something. You can explain things. You have an audience, and you can teach these things to other. It's already valuable. And later, I think, as these last two steps, last two points says, you can become better teacher. You can actually get paid if you are teacher, coach, mentor, tutor. So why to wait so long time and first to become professional and only after that start to teach? You can start doing this right now. Yes, you won't be paid, but you gather a lot of experience. Okay, let's quickly go through this article, and I just will focus only on some points that I found interesting for myself. Yeah, I think this one I want to share also. Looking at the text and expecting to learn is not far off from looking at the food and expecting to get its nutritions. We need to digest our life experiences just like we digest our food. This is exactly what I think. I think the same, that teaching other people is kind of like a digestion process. You can grasp information like food, but a possibility for you to share this knowledge, if you really can share it to someone, really means if you digested that knowledge or not. And let's go further, and we can see here there's a just example of Harvard study which says that employees who spend the last 15 minutes of each day of their training period writing and reflecting what they had learned, and they did 23% better than others in the final training test. So imagine you're spending 8 hours in training and just 15 minutes reflecting what you learned, and amazingly those 15 minutes just one of the 33rd of the total time, but gives you 20% of the learning gain. And I think here in this example they spoke about just reflecting and writing at the end of the teaching day, but I think if you can not just just reflect and write, if you can teach somebody else, make a YouTube video or teach offline, it gives much higher percent of free learning retention, as we saw in the beginning, 90% of the retention. Yes, and I think that's it. So thank you for joining me today, and later the next video will be about the first topic. I just want to start, maybe I will start from very simple topics in math. I took some simple algebra topics from school, just to I want to be safely move to this unexplored field of explaining things orally. So I will start from something simple. I think you are also inspired to do that, to learn things by teaching. Please, I encourage you to join me in this experiment. See if you can be successful in that. And if you'd like to share your thoughts about it, and if you're ready to join, just feel free to comment. Yes, maybe I will add my contact details, and I want to be in touch with anyone who just watched this video and who are interested in be close in this part of the life. Thank you for joining me today, and wish you a good day.